Two schoolgirls have been assaulted sexually in a shopping centre in Leeds on the 30th of December. And this shopping centre is about 500 yards diagonally across a big roundabout from a very large migrant asylum seeker hotel in Leeds. And this bit of information is not missed by many who are upset about the crimes, alleged crimes, I must say, at this point. Right? So the story, as reported in The Sun, says two schoolgirls sexually assaulted at a busy shopping centre as cops arrest three men over terrifying attack. Now I'm going to read out this article and point out some things that I find are a bit bizarre, particularly the police's call for assistance from the public, asking anybody who has any information to contact them. But they're missing one key aspect that might be helpful when you're wanting the public to help you with your inquiries. Okay, so the headline, as I say, two schoolgirls sexually assaulted at a busy shopping centre as cops arrest three men over terrifying attack. Three men have been arrested on suspicion of sexually assaulting two schoolgirls in a busy shopping centre. Police were scrambled to Seacroft in Leeds, West Yorkshire, yesterday. That's the 30th they're talking about, because this story came out late last night, after receiving reports of men acting suspiciously. They located the two teenage girls and arrested two of the suspects, aged 38 and 44, on suspicion of sex offences. Officers today detailed a third man, aged 20, on suspicion of sexual assault. West Yorkshire Police confirmed all three suspects remain in custody. The force have been carrying out patrols in the area while investigations continue. It said the alleged offences took place around 8:45 p.m, but no further information, including the ages of the girls, has been released. A spokesperson said, this is interesting, but inquiries remain ongoing by Leeds District safeguarding officers to support the victims and determine the full circumstances of what occurred. Anyone who saw or has information about the incident is asked to contact the Leeds Direct Safeguarding Unit on 101, referencing police crime number 132507461106. Right? Now, what's missing from that call for help from the public? Well, a description might be handy, right? If you want to know somebody that's carried out an attack and you want people in the public to help you, maybe giving a description might jog somebody's memory. Say, oh, I remember them walking through the car park, they came in this direction. All these things that could potentially help the police not only A, charge the correct person, but B, get a successful charge through a court. Well, the more information, the more witnesses, etc., would help secure a successful charge during the court trial. But yet again, we see this thing that the only time I've seen anything where the thing was changed, where they gave out descriptions quite quick, was in the Liverpool car ramming incident last summer. Within hours, I think it was 2 hours, we had all the details we ever needed about that suspect. And I don't understand, because at that time, before that, it was all this, we don't want to put out too much details. That seemed to be the tactic used by police forces. But then at Liverpool, and the comments were, yeah, we're changing the way we deal with identifications, etc. I thought, oh, that's good. Then all of a sudden we stop. Probably immediately after the Liverpool incident. And we're back to doing this thing where we don't put out descriptions. Now, I suppose if you've got enough evidence to charge somebody, you might think, well, we don't need to. But when you're actively asking and seeking help from the public, then why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you say, dressed like this, looks like that, this is his colour of hair, this is his skin colour, this is his complexion, this is his height, this is what they were wearing, right? Then you would maybe, somebody that was packing their bags, putting them into a car 100 metres away from the incident, who maybe didn't see the incident but saw the guys approaching from whatever direction, they could potentially jog their memory and help you. But no, we've not to do that. Now, I don't know, what colour, creed, religion or ethnicity these guys are. I actually don't care. The most important thing is catching the right people that potentially carried out this horrifically alleged crime. That is the most important thing. Very important, more so for the victims and their families than you or I. But when we don't have a consistency of how we release information about things, then people are always going to put two and two together, and quite often they'll put two and two together and come up with 4. But they can't come up with 172 at times. And what I find very interesting, there's been cases in the past where people have put two and two together, put stuff on social media, been arrested, and it turned out that the information they put out was bang on the money. We've seen it. And why don't they just do it? You either do it in all the cases or you do it in none. You can't pick and choose and have different processes for different, I suppose, alleged criminals. Because it does appear that it depends on a number of factors if your details are put out or not. And even when the details are put out, they're slightly skewed. We see a lot of crimes like Essex Man. His name's Abdul Mabama Akbar, but he's an Essex man, When you find out, when he goes to court months later, that he was an Afghan asylum seeker, right? No closer to being an Essex man than me. But that's the type of thing that happens time and time again. As I say, I don't know. And, part of me hopes that it isn't, because I see what happens when these asylum hotels have people inside them that do bad things to people in their community. But probability, statistics show that there is a higher chance of these types of crimes being done by foreigners, and in particularly asylum seekers are quite prone to doing these sort of things. So you can't blame people for putting two facts together, that at one side of a roundabout, 2 young schoolgirls were assaulted sexually, and at the other side of the same roundabout, there's a big hotel housing loads of asylum seeking men. So just put the truth out. Just put the truth out. Put the descriptions out. Describe people in a factual manner. And the British public can handle the truth. And you're better getting it today than 3 months down the line and people go, again. So if you put out the truth, people can't make mistakes. Put out the right information. People can't make stuff up and be wrong. Although, unfortunately, quite a lot of the time, they end up being right. So we want others to see this and help the police with their inquiries by, telling them what you know about 3 men that you've no clue what they look like, but best of luck with that one. If you want others to see the video, click thumbs up. Put your comments below. Comments are great, by the way. Just stick something in the comments for me if you don't mind when you see my videos. It really does help the algorithm. And if you've not already done so, or you think you have, just double check that you've got the subscribe button clicked. That would be fan-dabby-dozy. So, best of luck. I hope for the victims in this, or I should say the alleged victims at this point, then their families can get the results that they need. But try your best. Have a great day. Cheery bye now.